Good morning, everyone. In today's online class, we covered this chapter Should Wizard Hit Mommy, written by John Updike. He was an American novelist, poet, short story writer, art critic, and literary critic. For his book Rabbit is Rich, he won Pulitzer Prize in 1982, and for his book Rabbit at Rest, he won Pulitzer Prize in 1990. So, here is the summary of the chapter. So, this chapter gives us the worldwide view of a little girl of 4 years named Joan, in short, Jo. She has a younger brother, Bobby, and her mother, Claire, is 3 months pregnant. Her father, Jake, tells her bedtime stories and she asks him some difficult moral questions that shows her mental richness. She was child but she is having maturity, she's having thought process. So, Jack has been telling her daughter these stories every evening since she was 2 years old. He cannot invent new stories every day, so every new story is slightly different from the basic one. The story always has an animal named Roger. It has a problem which is solved by wizard every time. So, Jack tells Joe a new story about an animal Roger skunk who smells very bad. Due to his smell, another animal do not like to play with him. Roger tells his problem to a big wise owl who advises him to go to the wizard, the magical man. The wizard is a tiny old man with long beard. After knowing the problem of skunk, he asks him what he wants to smell like. Roger replies to be like roses. He wants to smell like roses. The wizard takes out his magical wand and mutters a magic spell. Now, as Jo has developed a critical mind, she interrupts her father. If the magic spells are real, this was a genuine question. So, Jack resumes the story. He says Roger becomes happy and Wizard demands 7 pennies, but Roger has only 4. He finds Timur in a magical well. After giving them to the wizard, he flees into the jungle and plays with his friends because now he is smelling good. But when Roger's mother got to know this thing, she gets angry. She says that Roger should smell like a skunk. She takes Roger back to the wizard, hits the wizard with her umbrella. At this, Joe suggests that the wizard should hit her back. Means the wizard should hit Skunk's mother back. But Jack does not agree with her. This is not a good thing that a mother should be hit by somebody. He ends the story by saying that Roger's father returns from Boston and they had supper together. Roger's mother is happy now, but Joe does not like the ending of the story. She asks if the other animals still hate Roger because now he is smelling bad again. He says Mother Skunk to be stupid and Jack defends the mother because according to Joe, the wizard has done a good deed, but he got hit by the mother of the Roger. But you know, according to her point of view, mother is wrong, but father knows that mother did the right thing. So, this is the conclusion that you know a child's perspective is different from an adult's perspective because they are mentally different, their maturity level is different. Both Jack and Joe are right in their own perspectives of viewing the world. I can have the different point of view and you can have the different point of view for the same thing. I can be right for the same thing and this thing can be wrong for you. Okay, so this is the story. Okay, the author conveys a very important message for both parents and children in this chapter. It addresses the issue of difference of attitude towards life. The mature ones are having different attitude towards the life. They have seen more world, they have seen, they have experiences, so their attitude towards the life is different, which erupts from the way in which they perceive each other, everyone being right in his approach, nobody is wrong. A child has a limited perception of life. Her surrounding is limited up to her parents. The Joe is having life surrounded with her brother, mother, and father only, teachers and friends, whereas the parents has a very wide perception of life and consider many issues while interacting with his child. The children often misinterpret the parents' attitude and behavior, and that is when the parents become strict with them. Okay, now this weakens the bonding between them. Parents, being elders, should understand the feeling of their children. Children are also right at their place. So parents should also understand their point of view. Every time they are not wrong. They are small, but they many time are right. Share them and mold them with love. And if any parent is finding something wrong in his or her child, so what should they do? They should not scold them, and they should try to mold them with their love, and slowly slowly they will change their attitude towards that thing. Okay, so here is the story. This is the story of a 4-year-old girl, Joan, nicknamed Joe, and her father, Jake, who follow a storytelling custom every evening for Saturday naps. The stories are variation of the basic tale where a small creature, Roger, whose last name Rice, has a problem for which the wise owl sends him to the wizard who solves his problem. And we know his problem, that he is having the smell problem. Okay, for that he went to the wizard with his magical powers. Okay, these stories had now become useless as Joe no longer falls asleep listening to them, and her father finds this routine to be very tiring. They have been following this routine when she was 2 years old, and now we know that she is 4 years old. Okay, so probably she got bored by this routine or by the same characters every evening. Okay, so now on this particular Saturday, in the story, Jack remembers his childhood experiences and Roger is turned into a skunk that smell fall. Joe is very curious and knows that as usual, Roger will go to the owl and, in her curiosity, interrupts her father, because this is the same thing happening every evening in every story. So she knows that now he'll go to the owl. Okay, so she interrupts her father, who get disturbed by the child's attitude of taking things for granted. He does not like the nature that his daughter takes him and every other thing for granted. This is not the correct behavior. He just wants to put her off to sleep and gets annoyed by her interrupting questions. He is not concerned about the child's curiosity, her inquisitiveness. He fails to create a bond with his child because he is getting irritated, and Joe got scared of his, her father. So now the bond is not there. She is not able to maintain the bond. She's not very free with her father. As usual, the skunk's bad smell is cured by the wizard, because this is the end every story have. And now the happy skunk has friends with whom he plays various games and then run home to their mummies. At this happy moment, the story usually ends. So Joe assumes it to have ended. So that evening also this story ended at the same point. Okay, Jack does not like women who takes things for granted. Rather, he wants her to wait for him to say that the story is over. So before saying this, the story is over, she assumed that the story is ended. So he doesn't like behavior of Joe, her attitude. Okay, so what he did, he did not end the story there. He continued it. He continues the story, and to the little child disappointment, the skunk's mother takes him back that day, to the wizard and hits wizard on the head and gets his original smell back, as that is the way a skunk should smell. We should be satisfied whatever God has given to us. So she did the right thing. If we say mother did the right thing, but what was Joe's perception? Okay, the little girl does not want the story to go that way, and is sad for the little skunk. Her father wants her to realize the pleasing friends is not so important. We should not do things to please others, because that skunk want that smell. He doesn't want that smell because nobody is playing with him. That is why he wanted to smell like rose, so that other animal can play with him. Basically he is trying to please other animals, and we should not do that. We should not do things to please others. Okay, now we should not change, because of others. Important that a person must change himself. Children must learn to accept their parents' decision as being the best for them. Our parents are the only one who can take the best decision for us. Okay. Jo is adamant and wants her father to tell her a new story. So next evening she wanted her father to tell her a new story with the end that the wizard should hit the mommy back. He should take the revenge. Okay, so the next day, in which the wizard hits mommy over the head, but her father, because he knows that this thinking, this mindset, it's not good. The attitude towards the parents is not good. So he wanted to change that attitude. So, but her father tells her that it is not the way the story goes, because the skunk loves his mommy. He cannot see his mommy hit by anyone more than the other little animals, and she knows what is right for it, for the skunk, because only his mother knows what is best for him. Okay, so this was the story. Okay, so we should also realize this thing, that our best friends are always our parents. They are our best guides. So instead of going, taking others advice, we should go to our parents. They can give us the best advice. Okay, so now these are some difficult words of the chapter. Okay, so the meanings are there. So your homework is, you need to make sentences out of these words. Okay, and two important questions are also there, so write down these two answers in your fair notebook. So thank you so much. You can take the screenshot. Thank you.